If you want to make one of the best shooting center builds like KrisZeeTee's, like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds. If not, you'll end up making a paint beast. I wouldn't risk it. Yo, YouTube! It's your boy Premier, back today with another banger, and in today's video we're going to be going over one of the best shooting center builds in NBA 2K21. First things first though, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, we're on the grind to 15K, and turn the post notifications on so you'll miss the next banger. Now, getting straight into this video, first off, I want to give a huge shout out to KrisZeeTee's. His link will be in the description. He came up with one of the best shooting centers I have seen in NBA 2K21 current gen. I'm sure most of you know it's hard to use a shooting center, but he has actually been able to use a shooting center at a very high level. And today we're going to be going over a build based off of what I think his build is. He has not dropped the official build video, but it's not exactly rocket science to lab this build and come up with the best version of a 6'7" shooting center. The hard part is using this build in wagers and competing with this build at the highest level. That's the hard part in using this build, and that's where I give mad props to KrisZeeTee's for even bringing out this build. But first things first, let's go over the skill breakdown. You need to make it a power forward, by the way. Don't make it a center. Make sure it's a power forward. Don't choose that red and green with the low green. Make sure you go up and choose the one with the Hall of Fame shooting and the Hall of Fame defense. Make sure you choose the red and the green, the 50-50. You want the build with the highest 3-ball, the best defensive stats. Make sure you're choosing the top physical profile too. A lot of people are going to think, oh, this is a center, you need to make it strength, you need to go down here and choose the speed vert. No, bro, no, don't do that on this build. Make sure you choose the one at the very top, the all speed, the all acceleration vert. Honestly, if you have good positioning, if you know how to get down and beat somebody to the paint, 9 times out of 10 the person with positioning is going to get the board. That 1 out of 10 the vert might come in handy, but for the most part the speed and acceleration, getting into the positioning, is the most crucial thing. Next, for the finishing, make sure you upgrade the driving dunk, standing dunk, max out the midi, three-pointer, free throw, and then you want to drop the post fade until you have exactly 19 shooting badges. If you upgrade that post fade all the way, it's really not necessary. You will have some extra attributes at the end of this, but from there, max out the interior D, perimeter D, lateral quickness, steal, block, offensive rebound, and defensive rebound, and then just giving you a base here. From here, it's really up to you what you want to do with these remaining 21 attribute upgrades. Me, what I actually decided to do, I feel like steal is one of the weaker attributes that you can take away from. Some attributes, it costs more. Like if I drop the defensive rebounding, I would immediately lose a badge point. But since the steal has a lower attribute, the attribute was only in the 60s, 70s, you will get more attribute upgrades by lowering the lower attributes, if that makes sense. Anyways, go up here to your finishing, and then I want you to put your remaining attribute upgrades into the close shot, and you'll end up with a 7-19-121 badge split. That is pretty nice for a shooting center. This year's shooting centers do not get a lot of love, so getting a badge split like this is actually pretty nice for this build. What I actually decided to do as well is I wanted a high driving layup, but if you flip it and you try to upgrade the driving layup and you drop the close shot down all the way, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the 7 finishing badges, and you need the gold showtime, you need the gold contact on this build, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, if you wanted, you could come down here and try like playmaking. You could try to get some gold quick first step, but I think you would have to end up coming down to like 20 defensive badge upgrades to get that gold quick first step. So in my opinion, it's not worth it. What I decided to do was come up here and put the close shot on 81, and then I put the driving layup on 52. That way I got the most out of my build. I did not waste any attribute upgrades. This is the best shooting center that I've been able to lab up to date. From here, like I said though, this is a base. If you want to do anything different to this build, I actually ended up going back and dropping the driving layup. That I felt the steal was more important. To be honest, when I drive in, I don't even want to get a layup animation, so that's just my mindset there. Moving on to the body shape though, the only 3 I even recommend that you look at: define, burly, build. You should not be looking at any other body shape if you are a center. Burly is the body shape I'm going to choose, and I will talk about that a little later and explain exactly why I chose burly. Burly though, in a nutshell, it sets the best screens. It's the best body shape for any center, in my opinion. For the height though, a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, there's no way you're making a 6'7" shooting center build. KrisZeeTee's has brought this 6'7" shooting center out on wagers, and it can compete with some of the best centers in the game. He has went toe to toe with Boss. I know the wagers have not been going in their favor, but still it is a great build and it needs more attention. I would love to see poppers come back in 2K22. I hate how everyone's playing on the inside right now. Make sure you make it 6'7", that way you get the best attributes possible, and make sure you go 184 pounds, that way you get the best stats possible. With the 84 speed and the 82 acceleration, if you have Gym Rat or you do your Gatorade drills, and if you hit 99 overall, that is going to be a 92 speed once you hit 99 overall and you have Gym Rat on this build, or you do your Gatorade drills. I always see people confused in the comment section. I don't really know how it's confusing. It's very simple. Once you hit 99 overall and once you do your Gatorade drills or you hit Superstar 2 and have Gym Rat, you get +8 to your build. I don't know how that's confusing. This build stats, when it's fully maxed out, is going to have a 92 speed, 90 acceleration. I know some of the defensive stats are looking kind of shaky right now, but we will address that here when we start talking about the wingspan. Moving on to the wingspan, a lot of people think shooting center, I might want to lower the wingspan, maybe 1 click, try to get that 83 ball. No, please don't do that. The defensive stats on this build are already weak. You need to max out the arms. That way you can at least, once the build hits 99 overall, have an 83 defensive rebounding. Now, I know that's going to be kind of shaky. I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, I might get snagged sometimes, blah, 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 blah. If you have good positioning, a lot of the times, especially if you're a higher rep, you will get takeover faster in the game, especially if you're taking your Showtime dunks. I'm looking at this build for the long-term benefits. If you have takeover, if you're in the right positioning, this build right here can be lethal. I'm not saying this build is easy to use. I know the attributes do not look near as good as a glass cleaning finisher. I know, honestly, if you're going up against someone like Boss, you might get dogged. It is what it is. Being on this build, when you're going against a good glass cleaning finisher or a good paint beast, sometimes you might get snagged. It is what it is. But the ability to spread the floor, the ability for poppers to be able to compete again is just amazing. If you've ever played shooting center, you understand how bad the shooting center position is this year. And honestly, this takeover, I'm actually slasher take. Like, what? There's no way. I know he gets 7 finishing, but slasher take, that one caught me off guard. I'm not going to cap. The only 2 takeovers, though, you should be looking at for this: glass cleaning take and sharp take. Sharp take, if you're worried about being able to shoot the ball on this build, go sharp take, especially if you're an elite 2 or you're about to hit elite 2 and you get that takeover booster. Sharp take, imagine being a legend on this build with sharp take. Oh my gosh, that could be deadly. But I'm not gonna lie, for the competitive purposes, I think glass cleaner is a little more important. For your role as a center, glass cleaner could be a lot more important. And as you can see, you have built a perimeter defender. I labbed this build for a good hour or 2, trying to come up with the best version of a 6'7" shooting center, similar to KrisZeeTee's. Once again, man, huge shout out to him. I've never seen someone actually in 2K21 current gen be able to compete with a popper. The man is on another level. On to the overall, on to the badges though that I recommend for this build. Obviously, if you test this build, do it at 99 overall. Make sure you go gold contact and gold showtime. 2 badges, in my opinion, that are a must need for this build. If anything, you could do silver contact, silver slithery. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm gonna go bronze lob city, gold showtime, gold contact. That is what I recommend for the finishing badges on this build. Next, we are moving on though. Let's go ahead and move on to the shooting badges. This is where it's honestly gonna be like up to you. I recommend Hall of Fame range extender, Hall of Fame hot zone hunter, at least bronze deadeye, Hall of Fame catch and shoot. And this is where it's going to become situational. Say you're playing with the ISO guard because you're a shooting center. ISO guards aren't even really a thing like that. Guards ISO nowadays and just shoot straight threes, have inside centers stand on the block. But if you want to go back to old-fashioned ISO with kind of like a slashing playmaker, a guard that primarily rim runs, you could look at the corner specialist. I'm not gonna lie, I think clutch shooter is a very important badge on this build too. So is green machine. The bronze flexible release is gonna be such a bailout. Honestly, on my playmaking shot creator, so many more whites go in when I use flexible release on bronze. That badge, in my opinion, is a must need for this build. I'm not gonna lie though, I think I'm gonna end up running a setup with the gold green machine, bronze deadeye, bronze clutch shooter. You could do this, like I said, if your guard's ISOing. Can look at that silver corner specialist, silver green machine, but I'm not gonna lie, this is the shooting badge setup that I would run if I actually made this build, upgraded all the way to 99. Get this video to at least 100 likes if you want to see me actually make this build, and I'll upgrade it to 99, grind it out, start making content on the shooting center. From here though, we're moving on to the defensive badges that I recommend for this build. This is honestly all situational. It's based on what game mode you're playing, 2s, 3s, 1s. whatever you want to play, but even Pro Am 5v5, this build can't compete in Pro Am 5v5. It's going to be a great power forward option. Before the badges, I recommend Hall of Fame box out, Hall of Fame rebound chaser, Hall of Fame rim protector, silver chase down artist, silver rim protector, bronze clamps, silver interceptor, and silver brick wall. This is probably the badge setup. I might even take off clamps to run gold brick wall, depending on how the screens feel. If you're not an interceptor guy, you could look at the gold brick wall, gold intimidator. You could even look at this Hall of Fame intimidator if you want to take off clamps or some few other options. It's really up to you though and what you want to do with your build. I'm going to be running this badge setup right here if I actually decide to make this build. Like I said, get this video to at least 100 likes. Let me know what y'all think of the build too. Is it a dub? Is it an L? Let me know what video you want to see next. If you do decide to take this build straight out to the park, I'm not gonna lie, or if you want to test this build, whatever, Dwayne Wade is a great base for shooting centers. So is Jumpshot 98. Can't forget about Stephen Curry's base either. But that's all for today's video. Let me know what y'all think of the build. Let me know what video you want to see next. If you're loyal, if you watch this video all the way through, comment DEMIGOD down below on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to turn the post notifications on if you haven't already. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace.
It's getting hard to keep composure, they keep trying me. I came from nothing, now they bumping my songs overseas. I remember when I first started, they threw dirt on me, and now they saying